you won't change your mind on the 45p rate?
No.
Are you absolutely committed to abolishing the 45 pence tax rate for the wealthiest people in the country?
Yes.
As you know, I am a huge Zionist, I am a huge supporter of Israel, and I know that we can take...
Discuss scrapping the top rate with your whole cabinet.
No. No, we
think...
didn't. It was a decision that the Chancellor made.
How many people voted for your plan?
What do you mean by that? Sorry.
Well, you've said, because this is not just a global problem, it's not arguably just a problem of communications, it's a problem of the consequence of the decision that you made. If we look at this graph, and you can look at it over there, Prime Minister, you can see what happened to the cost of government borrowing. On the day that you made that announcement, it spiked. And it didn't just spike, it's predicted to stay high for long. Now, the reason that matters is when it costs the government more to borrow, everything costs more. Everybody feels the increase in interest rates, whether that's on government, on mortgages, on people's rents. This is a direct consequence of the decisions you made last week. And interest rate increases are going to mean pressure on people's mortgages and less money for public services.
We have been in a very long period of low interest rates. And the fact is that due to the war in Ukraine, perpetrated by Russia, interest rates are rising around the world.
On that graph, that is a spike in the cost of borrowing for the government, which feeds through to everybody else as a direct result of the decisions that you announced on September the 23rd. This is not about what was going on in the war in Ukraine already. We know that that's a huge challenge, but look at the direct result on that day. And the chief economist at the Bank of England,
That is not the same as interest rates, though, Laura.
But how many people voted for you to do that?
Well, people in 2019 who voted Conservative voted for a successful country where we are levelling up all parts of the country and where we're driving growth, enterprise and opportunity. Now, any government has to deal with the circumstances it faces. And we face this situation of, which was unforeseen, huge energy costs, rising inflation due to the war in Ukraine and the aftermath of COVID.
But you know very well, Prime Minister, that
we are delivering.
There you have it, folks. Liz Truss. So those of you who have been following my channel would have known that I predicted that Liz Truss was going to be the next Prime Minister and she's going to be an absolute disaster. Yet again, my predictions have come right. And you're welcome to see my old channels if you don't believe me. Looks like the British public want her out as soon as possible. And you've seen these interviews. It's really, really uncomfortable viewing. She does not know how to present herself. She doesn't know how to talk. She's busy blaming others. At one point, she blamed Kwasi Kwarteng. At one point, 2 points, she started blaming Putin. And she doesn't take any sort of responsibility. And this 45p tax thing that she said she's not going to turn around, she's going to stand by it. 2 hours later, guess what? She does a complete 180 and she reverses that decision. First of all, if you're a boss, and you make a big decision like that, destroy the pound, and a few days later you reverse your decision, nobody's going to take you seriously. Nobody's going to take you seriously at all. People are just going to think you just don't know what you're talking about, or you don't know what you're doing. You will lose confidence of everyone even more. And this is why people want her out. People know what a sham she is. Not only that, she's been caught talking to the Israeli lobby, and she admitted that she's a Zionist. She's going to stand with Israel. I mean, come on. You've seen her policies against China. You've seen how aggressive she is towards China. She's pissed China off. She's obviously pissed Russia off. And now she's going after the Middle East. That clip has gone all around Twitter and gone viral. And I've seen a lot of Muslim comments. Trust me, there is a huge Muslim population in UK. They are going to see that and they're going to be really angry about it. So one of the reasons this tax cut thing is very unpopular is because the rich tend to save a lot of money with this tax cut bill, while the poor, they don't really save much money at all. And I think some people have worked out an average poor or middle class person will only save 95 pence or something like that, while the rich who earn a lot of money will be saving thousands. So it doesn't really make sense, really, why they introduced this tax cut. There's another budget coming out in November as well, and they have already said that they have to cut public services as well. So people are not going to be very happy. So right now the pound is still very low. Interest rates have gone up, so people's mortgages have gone up. These gas bills have gone up as well. There are reports that people are getting gas bills larger than 2,500 limit. So there's a lot of unhappy people in England at the moment, and she'll be lucky to survive. Unfortunately, I've been watching a lot of British politics. They can't get rid of her for at least another year because that's part of the constitution apparently. But what she can do is probably get rid of Kwarteng, and she's already started the blame game, blaming him for it. So we'll see what happens. But she's already the most unpopular Prime Minister in Great Britain. She's even more unpopular than Boris. And I told everyone she's going to be an absolute disaster. So there's this story here on RT which I found quite fascinating. And it says, Truss exposes the current instability of Western democracies. And this article is basically talking about how Western democracies have failed. And because of these Western democracies, they end up putting leaders like Truss running a country. And you can see how much damage is done to the country, like Great Britain. I keep saying Great Britain. It's not Great Britain anymore. It's Britain. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so the amount of damage a woman like that can do to a country is unbelievable. And the fact that she wasn't even voted in. But it's all part of democracy. People say democracy this, democracy that. But she wasn't even voted in. So how can it be a democracy? How can she be allowed to have so much power and destroy the country? Do you really call that democracy? Well, I don't. I also want to talk about Poland, who are demanding 1.2 trillion from Germany. I think Poland is sniffing some blood here. They know Germans are really weak at the moment because they are deindustrializing and they are losing a lot of money. And Germany is becoming weaker and weaker because of the lack of gas. While Poland, on the other hand, they're just celebrating a new gas pipeline coming from Norway. So Poland is more or less happy with what they have, but they can smell blood. And this is supposed to be EU unity, by the way, as Ursula likes to say. But now they are smelling blood and they want 1.2 trillion from Germany. And let's see how this goes, because Germans have chosen to go with the EU and stab Russia in the back for this. So let's see how they kind of react. And I'm pretty sure I know how they will react. They're pretty much puppets of the United States, so they'll just sit there and take it. They'll probably do whatever Poland wants them to do. The same way that Ukraine gets away with calling Scholz a liver sausage and insulting Germans at every opportunity. It's the same way these puppets will take it, and they'll just say, yes sir, give me some more sir. And it's an absolute shame how Germans have fallen. They are just there to be bullied now. They are being bullied by the United States. They allow the United States to blow up their own pipeline. I'm talking about Nord Stream 1 and 2. They allow United States to destroy the economy. They allow Ukrainians leaders to insult the German leaders. Now they're allowing Poland to formally asked for 1.2 trillion in reparations. And if this goes ahead, and if Germans agree to this, then you can see the rest of the EU wanting the same as well, including Britain. So this is not going to stop here, I can tell you that now. But the Germans have chosen this fate. They decided to, cut all of their ties with Russia. They're already cutting ties with China because I've heard they've sent a delegation to Taiwan today. So they're cutting all the ties with China, and now they look like they've decided to settle with Europe. And look what Europe is doing to them. Serves them right. Absolutely serves them right. So there's a story I wanted to cover. I made a few videos about this, and I figured I have to put a close to it because obviously I've covered it. So it's basically about a British guy who ran off with a Ukrainian refugee who only kind of was staying in his house for 5 days. So he's left his wife and 2 kids for this Ukrainian refugee. So you can see his wife here, and this is the Ukrainian refugee who's run off with. Unfortunately, looks like he's dumped her. You can see now he's dumped her. And his ex-wife is saying, I knew it will end in disaster, but not this quick. And the reason he's dumped her is apparently this Ukrainian girl is a bit of a psychotic. And you can see here, he is now all alone after kicking her out of the rented flat following a row in which he claimed she grabbed a knife and stabbed a wall. She sounds absolutely crazy. And apparently he had to phone the police and things like that. He said he accused Sophia of being abusive. He said she could not handle the alcohol. And, it sounds like she's an absolute crazy chick. And you can see here, Tony and Sophia split after blazing row on Saturday as they celebrated his birthday. So they had an argument on his birthday. What a way to celebrate his birthday. And then he said it led him to calling the police in his home in Bradford. Bloody hell, he had to call the police on her. And looks like they broke up. He's not allowed to see his ex-wife and his kids because there's a court injunction against him. So he's now ended up with absolutely nothing. And you got to say, it serves him right. Absolutely serves him right. So what's happened to the Ukrainian girl? You can see here, she's actually going home. She goes, I'm leaving. Can you see how they've typed leaving? I'm a Ukrainian refugee and my boyfriend left his partner for me. He's dumped me and now I'm flying home. And you can see she's in the airport. She's flying home with Ryanair. I think she's had enough of England. She's had enough of British people. And I got to say, I dated a Ukrainian girl once, a long time ago. And they are indeed very, very crazy. She used to have a very short temper. And she used to slap me around a little as well when she gets angry. I was like, bloody hell, this girl's absolutely nuts. And they do have a very short temper. I thought it was just her, to be honest. I thought maybe she was just a one-off, and maybe I thought she had a anger issue or something. But it sounds like most Ukrainian girls have these kind of anger issues, a bit crazy. They are beautiful though, so I guess you just have to balance the weight if it's worthy or not. But yeah, I think most beautiful girls are a little bit crazy. Now I'm coming to the idiot of the day. And the idiot of the day has to go to one of my heroes of Hollywood, Mark Hamill. Those of you who don't know who he is, he's Luke Skywalker in Star Wars. And I'm sure most of you have seen Star Wars. So he has had a phone call with Zelensky, and now he's apparently the ambassador to raise money for drones for Ukraine. So this is the thing, really. United States has just had a major disaster in Florida, and they are talking about 80 to 90 billion in damages. They're talking about maybe hundreds of people dead. They are talking about millions of people who don't have a home, who don't have electricity. There's thousands of people who still haven't been found. And this guy is raising money for drones for Ukraine, apparently. I mean, come on, man. This guy used to be my hero when I was a kid. I used to love Luke Skywalker. I wanted to be Luke Skywalker when I grew up. And I'm sorry, but you know, this is one of those things. You should never meet your heroes. I just don't understand what an idiot Mark Hamill is by agreeing to do this, especially with everything that's going on in the United States. You know, work out your priorities, mate. So I was quite shocked, to be honest. And to be honest, you know, I love Star Wars, and you know, I loved watching Star Wars. I used to collect all the figures when I was a kid. I even have a Luke Skywalker action figure, and I'm definitely going to throw it away after this. You know, absolutely disgusting. And one of the things you know, when I saw The Last Jedi, and The Last Jedi did him absolutely dirty. It's one of the worst Star Wars films I've ever seen. And that actually put me off the franchise after that. And, you know, I was really sad for Mark Hamill. I mean, what they did him really dirty in that film. But I have to say, guys, I'm really disappointed with Mark Hamill. I'm really, really disappointed. Same way I'm disappointed with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Same way I'm disappointed with that comedian who was in Zoolander, who met Zelensky as well. I mean, what's wrong with all of these top Hollywood actors meeting Zelensky and doing his work for him? What the hell is going on? These dumb celebrities really need to stay out of politics and just do your work in front of the camera. Do what you do best. Just stay the F out of politics. Anyway, that's all for now from today, guys. Let me know what you guys think. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And if you want to support the channel, I'd be really appreciated. You can join me on my locals or Patreon, or you can buy me a coffee. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.